You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Heroes versus villains, good versus evil. Today, guys, we are talking about the brand new Ronnie Fieg x Kith x Marvel Supervillains Asics collection that is set to release later on this summer. Kind of a follow-up collection to the Marvel Heroes collection that we saw last year. I'm going to be giving you guys every single thing we know about this collection, going through some teaser images and then giving my opinions on the collaboration and what specific colorways I think have potential to do some resale on the aftermarket. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys to please hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get up to date every single time I post and go live. I go live every single Thursday. During the Supreme season, we go for live cops. During the off season, we bullshit and talk about whatever. It's still a good time. Come out this Thursday and come hang out. Today we're on soulretriever.com. You can go check out Soul Retriever, link in the description, and download the app. Use my referral code to get early access. It is a paid restock app, but I think it's the best in the biz. Really helpful app for keeping track of raffles, releases, shock drops, etc. But let's get right into it. This came out yesterday, July 22nd. Ronnie Fieg teases new Kith x Marvel Supervillains Asics collection, and we have a pretty cool picture right here. Let's take a look at that boy. You can see a bunch of colorways of the Asics GT-2160, I think is what it's called. I'm terrible with Asics model names, but I always do love the way Kith releases its teaser images. They always get you hype with that Kith filter, but just at first glance, I think these are pretty damn clean and really in line with what's trending right now with runners and Asics, New Balances, especially because Nike has just been absolutely shitting the bed. So I think a collab like this is a breath of fresh air. Okay, so following the success of last year's collaboration, which I guess I'll put a link in the description if you guys haven't checked that out before. It's a whole video I did on the Heroes pack from last year, but I'm sure most of you know about that. So the spotlight is on Marvel's Supervillains. Last year, the release saw a mystery box with a PSA graded trading cards as a unique little gimmick, and they did a release at Comic-Con as well. In the Supervillain collection, Fieg showcases several Asics models inspired by different Marvel characters. The collection includes the GT-2160, the 1130, and Gel-Kayano 14. I think the Gel-Kayano 14 is the most hype Asics model right now, with designs reflecting the personas of Magneto, Silver Surfer, Venom, Green Goblin, and Spiderman. For instance, the Gel 1130 features Magneto's signature colors and design elements, while the Kayano 14 channels the sleek, cosmic style of Silver Surfer. Venom and Spiderman share the GT-2160, with Venom's pair exhibiting a dark, symbiote-inspired aesthetic, and Spider-Man's pair capturing the web slinger's classic red and blue look. The Green Goblin's influence can also be seen in another GT-2160, which incorporates his distinctive green and purple color scheme. Wow, that was a lot of reading. So this looks like the Spider-Man and Venom pack right here. I think that says Venom down there at the bottom. Yes, it does. And you got the Spider-Man with a comic in between. Very cool box branding. I wasn't able to cop anything from the Heroes edition last year, so hopefully gonna get more lucky with this Supervillains pack. All right, one particular intriguing aspect of the collection is the Venom and Spider-Man pack, which includes both sneakers and a graded comic. Interesting. So if you get these ones, you get a little twofer. I'm sure it's more expensive. Based on Fieg's Instagram post, the comic books will come in different variants, and we can see each villain in the pack getting their own. No pairs will come in a pack together. All right. The Kith x Marvel Supervillains x Asics collection will release in 2024 through Kith online and in-store. An early release will take place at San Diego Comic-Con at the PSA booth on Thursday and Friday. According to PSA, each box contains one pair of hero or villain-inspired sneakers, plus a corresponding comic book. As of this writing, the retail price has yet to be announced. Don't tune out, guys, though. We have plenty of pictures to look at. I'm just going to check when San Diego Comic-Con is. If you're watching this video this week, Comic-Con is this weekend. It starts Thursday, July 25th and goes till Sunday, July 28th. So it looks like Thursday and Friday we'll have some early releases of the Ronnie Fieg Asics supervillains pack, so get there if you're in California. Sorry for the low quality. These pictures are pretty low res when I blew them up. But here you can see some of these graded comics. You got Venom, Magneto, Green Goblin, Silver Surfer. I don't know anything about comics really, guys. I mean, I've watched comics explained on YouTube and fall asleep to videos about lore, but I was never a big comic book reader, more of a manga guy. I still think that you don't have to be a giant comic book fan to be a fan of this stuff. Like, I watched Spider-Man 2001 in theaters when that came out. Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, that stuff was super cool. I was actually scared of the Green Goblin, not gonna lie. But I think these characters are so iconic in American and worldwide pop culture. I know we kind of are in the end of this superhero trend that's been going hard since Iron Man. Like, we're seeing kind of the death in a way of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but still, I think comics are like genuinely where the real fans kind of have always been, right? Even if people aren't going to see the latest Ant-Man 4, we can still look at these Spider-Man Asics or these Magnetos and think those are pretty cool. A little bit higher quality of an image. We got the Magneto pair right here on the Asics Gel-1130, which these look pretty slick. I do really like the colorway of the gradient from like a dark purple all the way to a light purple with some red hits. The shadows are pretty crazy on this thing, but this looks like a very clean pair of Asics for sure. Next, we have the Gel-Kayano 14, the Silver Surfers. I think if I can target one pair, it would probably be these ones. I really like the silver colorway to them. I have one pair of gray shoes. They actually are Ronnie Fieg, actually the super yellows, Gelite 3s. I do love the blue outsole. Either these or maybe the Magnetos. I'm not too sure yet. That's the nice part about looking at a collab for the first time. You're like, what do you want to cop? But pretty cool model. Recently, I wanted to get a pair of the Gel-Kayano 14s just because everyone's talking about them. They get a lot of hype and I think they look pretty good. It's a pretty great image of them right there. You can really see the metallic sheen on them. Kind of like an iridescent look to the actual piping design on the side of the Asics, the little cross, whatever this symbol is. I don't know. If you guys know what this symbol is, let me know. I feel like I used to know it, but I might have forgot it. Then we have the outsole right there with this kind of bluish tint to it. Very cool. Gray laces. I'm sure these will come with multiple laces. Ronnie never skimps on that stuff. Did I speak too soon? The Venoms are pretty sick as well. Comic book right there on the left is neat. What we really care about is this shoe here on the right. So I think that's a slightly better picture right there. It's interesting to see Venom with like blue. I guess that is way more of like the comic version, but this is an interesting shoe. I mean, traditionally blue and black don't go well together, but the way they've done this with the blue kind of starting from the middle of the shoe, spreading out, you have the white of the symbiote, the little parasite that controls Venom. That's pretty cool. These are definitely a sick colorway. And what's nice is this collab probably has a pair for everyone with all the different variations. GT, and that is on the GT-2160. Here's the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. I normally don't like Spider-Man colored shoes. I think blue and red look pretty tacky most of the time. I don't know how he's done it, but what Ronnie's done with these is really incredible. I'd like to get a better picture to look at a little bit later, just higher res, but I think the way he separated it with the cream midsole, the gradient that starts with the white and bleeds into red, back to white, into blue. I mean, these are a great like 4th of July sneaker. I think these might be solid. And the fact you get both of these in one pack with the 2160s is actually really interesting and super intriguing. Plus, of course, the graded comic, which is not very collectible. Like, it's collectible, but it's not going to be valuable. It's collectible for people that think, hey, it's neat that I get a comic book with my shoes. Maybe if you keep this entire collection on ice for 20 plus years, you could see a decent return on investment, but also we have no idea what Kith is going to mean that many years in the future. All right, next up, the Green Goblin 2160s. I feel like, are these all 2160s? I guess we had some 1130s, but here we go with the Green Goblins. I didn't know he had a damn comic book. I guess it makes sense. But here you go with the Green Goblin pair. Pretty nice. They have green and yellow on them with some white and black. Not sure these will be the most popular version. I feel like green shoes typically have a more difficult time finding hype unless they have certain kind of styles to them. I don't know if this one is really catching people's fancy out of all the ones that I've seen so far. This definitely isn't the most intriguing to me, but still I think they are all pretty dang cool. And stay tuned for probably a part 2 of this video, guys. If we get any more information on Kith and Asics and Marvel supervillains, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. If you want to check out some of the older pairs on StockX, just search Kith x Marvel and you can look at some of the older pairs, what they're selling for now. They actually aren't going for a ton, all except for this one pair right here. The 1975 Wolverines ended up being the most sought after colorway. For whatever reason, they released 7/28/23, and all of the other ones you can see, Cyclops right here is the second best, it looks like, according to market data. I'm not going to get into that whole part of the video where I go through StockX, look at everything, but you can go look at other pieces and maybe pick up some matching stuff. Perhaps, I know it was different characters, but just to get an idea, we saw skateboards, we saw t-shirts, we saw jackets, plenty of accessories, plenty of gear to match with your shoes. So stay tuned to the channel. I'll definitely be providing you guys with all of that information when it comes out. So what did you guys think of the Kith x Marvel Supervillains Asics collection that's set to release here in about a week or two? For me personally, it's got me relatively excited. Asics is really on top of the game right now, providing tons of unique models and comfortable shoes for us sneakerheads to get after. And Ronnie Fieg, I feel, is a great curator of collaborations and really does provide people with that niche hobby or interest an outlet to express themselves through his clothes, through his shoes. And I think this is another example of him doing it very well. I'm looking forward to getting more info on these. Pricing, I'd expect to be in the mid like 150s to 190s, depending on how much he wants to tax for the comic book and all the merchandise and exclusive packaging and stuff like that. But looking forward to getting more info on this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, liked the video. If you enjoyed, comment if you liked, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm Thomas and I'm out. Peace and Buckies. Yeah.